What's up there, ladies and gents? Welcome back to Red Band Cast, or Resurrection Reviews, or whatever it is at this point. I'm Steve, as always. And as always, I have a drink, but today it's just water. Clean and crisp. Now, this, it looks like it's got bubbles in here, but I swear it doesn't. Well, I shouldn't say that word, swear. Against a personal code of mine, honestly. But anyway, I promise this is not bubbly. These are little bubbles that are like put into the glassware so that it seems like there's bubbles, but there's not. See, even look at the part there. Yeah, the part there that doesn't even have water has bubbles. So makes you feel like you're drinking a fizzy drink, but you're not. Gives you a real weird feeling when you drink milk out of it, I tell you what. Anyway, today I'm here to finally get back to this 100 greatest action movies kind of thing that I've been doing, according to the internet. And today I'm going to be reviewing the best one, in my opinion, that I've reviewed so far, and the best one that I've watched for this series specifically so far. It's a beautiful, wonderful movie from 1993. Was actually nominated for Best Picture, I think. Harrison Ford in The Fugitive. Actually, I think it's really cool because they do the whole kind of like Steven Seagal thing, where it's like Steven Seagal is. I can't remember any names of Steven Seagal movies. Steven Seagal is doing some bullcrap. No. Anyway, weird how that happens. You know, you just kind of get a brain fart like that. Under Siege. Steven Seagal is Under Siege. Yeah, there you go. This is Harrison Ford is The Fugitive. Anyhow, this comes in a snapper case. I like these cases, actually. I really enjoy kind of the artwork and the look of the cases that these things have. There's the disc, pretty much the cover art. You get that little bit of art inside as well with the chapters and such. And actually, this has a few special features on here. There's the behind-the-scenes documentaries Derailed, Anatomy of a Train Wreck, and On the Run with the Fugitive. Feature-length audio commentary by Tommy Lee Jones and director Andrew Davis, and an all-new introduction with the film's stars and creators. And of course, they tout interactive menus, cast/filmmaker, film highlights, theatrical trailer, scene access, language and subtitles. They always make a big deal about those on these old snapper cases. Regardless, though, we're going to get into the meat of this movie. So let's go ahead and get the counts up. I've got my notes as always. Body count 5. I only counted about 5 people dying in here. However, the small body count is made up for by tons upon tons of suspense, great shots, lighting, editing, everything. There's so much good stuff about this movie. But let's go ahead and get on with this. Nakedness, 0 to 0.5. The only nakedness that I could speak of here is Harrison Ford's kind of like maybe a little bit of his butt cheek when he's giving himself a shot. That's pretty much it. That's it. You don't really see much of anything. He sometimes gets a little bit shirtless. And, you know, he looked good back then for a dude, so there you go. Nakedness 0.5. Car chases, 1. There's one single car chase. That's when they're chasing him when he's driving the ambulance. And they're chasing him in a helicopter, so it's a specific kind of car chase. Training montages, 0. We're still at 0 with the training montages. I'm a little bit disappointed here. Kind of considering taking this off, but I think it's just going to be so amazing when we finally do get a training montage. Fist fights, 4. We get 4 fist fights here, which is almost as high as the body count. There's a bunch of fist fighting in here. Really good stuff. There's an awesome fist fight near the end between Harrison Ford and the villain. Really, really good stuff. Bullet Slingers, 5. A whole lot of gunfights in here as well. Really good stuff there. Unique fights and weapons. Let's see. There's this fight on the prison bus that's pretty cool. Two train fights. Yeah, there's two train fights. Fights on these like underground trains and stuff. I guess I probably should have just said, subway. And then there's the final confrontation, shootouts. I think Harrison Ford at some point just uses like this random bar that he finds on a guy, just this metal bar that he just smacks him over the back of the head with. So that's kind of unique. So as far as the real filmic meat, though, the meat in drama terms, this is a really great movie. Like I said, it's the best one that I've reviewed so far for this series. The best one I've watched so far, specifically to do this series. It's becoming a new favorite of mine, honestly, because I'd never seen it. And that's one of the great things about this series, is I get to watch things that I've never watched before. So let's go ahead and get started here. Acting. I think it's excellent all around. Tommy Lee Jones deserves his Oscar here. He's really brilliant. Apparently, almost all of the dialogue in the movie is at least improvised in some sense, which is really, really cool to me. So you've got that going on. Harrison Ford is amazing. All the side characters are really good. The villain is great. There's a lot of really, really great stuff in here. Directing, almost perfect. There's just these wonderful aerial shots, and you can tell that that Andrew Davis, the director, just loves his hometown of Chicago. I love that. He gets a lot of good coverage of the St. Patrick's Day parade and turning the water green, and gets a lot of coverage of the city and the surrounding areas and stuff like that. I really, really enjoyed that. Thought it was some cool stuff. A lot of really good cinematography here as well. Just awesome. Like I said, aerial shots, very flowing, and some nice hard editing. There's also some editing that makes a lot of good sense for me in the movie, but there's one scene that I don't like that's edited a little bit weird. It's this sort of comedic moment. I forget exactly what it is, but it's near the beginning. There's a little comedic moment between him and his wife, who, of course, eventually dies in the movie, and there's this little comedic moment, and it just sort of like the sound editing bleeds into him sitting there in jail being interrogated for possibly murdering his wife. Maybe it makes sense to some people. For me, it's a little jarring. The two very different emotions sort of going on there. It's a little jarring. So that's really the only problem I've got with any of the technical stuff, directing, editing, cinematography. As far as special effects, there's almost everything is practical in here. There's no really big special effects set pieces as far as like giant stuff, except maybe that train derailment. That's really the only thing. That's basically all that's the big like set pieces of just possible special effects stuff going on. But apparently that was a real train wreck, so that's not really even special effects. It's just wrecking a train. And another big thing is there's not a lot of violence in this movie that's really graphic. Like there's no really bleeding gut shots or anything like that. So it's very minimal, and it works for what it's trying to do. Then we've got writing. I think it's a very, very well structured script. I would say it's got great dialogue, but I think most of the dialogue, like I said, is improvised. So I mean, the structure is really good. The action in the movie is really good, but a lot of that probably goes towards the directing and the actors. So I don't really know where where the script is left to go. I mean, like I said, the structure of the movie is really good. So at least they've got that going for them. It's got to mean that it's a good script, at least in that respect. Very well structured movie. Let's see. Rewatchability. Um, it's a tad long. I'll be honest. It's like close to. It's like a little bit over 2 hours. It's a tad long for just a real quick action movie watch, but I could see myself watching this a lot in the future. I almost rewatched it tonight, and I had watched it like twice over 2 weeks, once a week after I had first seen it. So I gotta recommend this. Really great movie. It's an action classic. It might be the best movie that actually is on this list. I don't know. I mean, it could end up being that way. It's definitely crept into my personal top 5. And I just gotta say, it's a brilliant movie. Definitely check it out. As far as my sort of opinions on the manliness factor of this, Richard Kimball loves his wife. That's, I think, one thing that all great men should do. All great men should have a wife, in my opinion. And all great men should love their wives. It seems like a small thing, but actually it's really, really quite a feat, to truly love your wife, because love is an action. And he takes love into action in this movie, Richard Kimball does. Kimball loves his wife so much that even over the course of a movie, which generally sort of has this big arc, like these movies do, of sort of getting a different romance going and getting over the past and stuff, even by the end of the movie, he's not over the death of his wife. The fact that his indignation is so apparent at them accusing him of killing his wife shows how much he cares for her. The little banter that they do have between each other and the stuff that was being set up there in the beginning was very good, and it made you feel the relationship very deeply. The great thing about this is that he doesn't really go out for revenge. He only goes out for justice. He's maybe the most morally upright person I've ever seen in an action movie that's actually the action star. He's maybe the most morally upright action star I've ever seen in a movie. And that's just brilliant. I think it's awesome that Harrison Ford in The Fugitive is just so morally upright. He's such a good guy. He's not really out for revenge. He's just out for true justice. He's not out to kill the guy that killed his wife. He's not out to just mercilessly beat him, even though, of course, that comes out. I mean, anger does bubble up in him, and he punches some guys out. And he only tries to escape situations where he's not meant to be in them. So all of this sort of goes into maybe an idea of a big cosmic plan, or maybe it comes into just the idea that Richard Kimball is a morally upright man in a world and a system that is not morally upright. And he's sort of contrasted with Tommy Lee Jones's character, the U.S. Marshal, who is sort of lawful good because he's doing what he's doing because of the law. I mean, he doesn't really have an opinion about, it doesn't matter. To him, it's expressed that it doesn't matter whether Kimball actually killed his wife or not. He's on the side of just the law, period. You escaped from jail, or you escaped from a prison bus. Therefore, you must be arrested. You possibly murdered your wife. Therefore, you must be arrested and taken back. And all throughout the movie, it's that. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. And then by the end, he finally does. Because that sense of justice even creeps into him. It's a movie, honestly, about cosmic justice, maybe. Or justice on a widespread level. Not just the idea of the law, but about justice specifically. So I really like that. I know that's made the video go a little bit long. I still think it's probably shorter than some of these other videos I've been doing. But anyway, I just gotta say, I think The Fugitive's an awesome movie. Buy it if you can. I hear the Blu-ray of this is not overly spectacular. I might even wait a little while to get an actual Blu-ray. This cost me $1 even at at the local peddler's mall. You guys saw me pick that up, or saw me going in to pick it up. So, The Fugitive, awesome movie. Check it out. I give it... I gotta see if I can find the actual star rating I gave this. I might have given it 5 out of 5. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't give it a star rating, but I think personally 5 out of 5. Awesome, awesome movie. Definitely check this movie out. It's awesome. I realize I didn't go over the other elements stuff. The music's a little bit forgettable. That's about it. Yeah. Anyway, Harrison Ford, The Fugitive. Check it out. Awesome movie. That's my summation. Watch it. Rock on. If you like to subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.